Searching near and far, 'cause you love me as your best. In the night.
Right, today's test is going to be Minelab E-Trac. I'll be testing it with 7 different coils. Just show you how I actually set it up for the purpose of the test. This is how I would personally use it. I normally use detectors maxed out in terms of setting them up so I get the best performance out of it. That's the on off button. Put the backlight on. Might help us a bit. It's going a bit mad at the moment, obviously because it's inside the house, plenty of metal about, so I'll turn the sensitivity right down to 1. Go through the menu. Start at the beginning. Select and save, that's all about saving your programs, etc, etc. So I won't go into all this in fantastic detail, I'll be here for a week. That again is selecting various patterns, etc. You've got all these different patterns, discrimination patterns you can actually set. These are the preset ones coming up now. None of these I would personally use, I just make my own up. Set it up in relic mode. Back again, I'll show you what the relic mode looks like in real time. Find the right buttons to press. You can just see that it's actually blacked out in the bottom right hand corner there. That's where most of the annoying nails and small bits of iron comes in. You probably find the bigger iron comes in slightly higher, and I probably would tweak the discrimination normally by going over the iron and then pressing the tick and cross button on the main screen, which would just knock out a square in that area. If you haven't used one of these before, then I'm probably completely baffling you now, but as I say, it's too in depth really to go into. I'll just show you how I set it up. Right then, these are more straightforward stuff. I've got sensitivity on manual, you can use it on auto. Manual, obviously you've got more control. The manual level I've got on it at the moment is 1. I would normally use it on 26. That's the auto level. You can sort of boost that up by 1 or 2 points. Right. Threshold I've got on 17, but it's whatever you're comfortable with, all personal choice again. Volume, I normally use it maxed out at 30. The volume gain, which will just amplify the deeper signals, that's maxed out as well. Response is on normal. The response on normal. Tone ID, you've got your number of tones where you can choose multi, which I do, or 4 or 2 or 1. But I'm used to multi-tone, so I'll go for that one. Sounds, conductivity, variability 25, limit 30. Those are just left as is, as it was when I switched it on. Recovery deep is on and recovery fast is on. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but I always find I get better performance if I put them both on. Thrash density, I put it on low. It's just another filter I want to take off because I'm trying to get the maximum performance out of it. Ground, neutral, I put it on difficult, then it'll just, again, the filters will just take over. Noise cancel, that's just something you can access from the main screen, which will just get rid of any outside interference, like on most detectors nowadays. And you got your contrast, pinpoint mode, I've got that on normal. Sensitivity on, let's show sensitivity, I can see then what's happening on the main screen. But say most of these are just personal preference things anyway, really. Right, back to the Detech screen. And off we go.
Searching near and far, 'cause you love me as your best. In the night, her pulse is clear.
Right, we'll crack on with the test. It's a 20-inch long gold chain rolled into a ball 1 inch deep. Yeah, Minelab's not actually renowned for our ability on gold chains. This is another gold chain, 5 inches long, stretched out 1 inch deep. Absolutely nothing. Small Roman bronze, 3 inches. Try the fine silver earring, but I don't think it's going to get that. No. Low conductive cut quarter, 4 inches. Close. Small pewter button, 4 inches. Small pewter button, 6 inches. 7 inches. 8 inches. This is where the difference between the Manticore and your Equinoxes and the E-Tracs and Explorers comes in. They just aren't as good on low conductive items. Coke. Comes in about 1. But you're going to be able to tell that in the field anyway. No worries, discriminate that out anyway without losing an awful lot. Galena, 6 inches. It's a bit better signal anyway. So you probably actually dig the Galena if it was coke in the ground, should you wish. Air alpha pellet at 4 inches. 177. Again at 5 inches. Nope. A thin copper ring, 8 inches deep. "10-inch deep thin copper ring. Onto the separation and discrimination. It's an iron cord 2 pence. You see, it's absolutely not giving me a signal. That's a crown bottle top, which seems to be quite happy with. 2 coins, low and high conductivity, 8 inches deep, 1 inch apart. Same again, only 3 inches deep. You see 2 different tones coming in there. Ring pull and 20 pence. Exactly the same. Low and high conductive coins, with a steel staple in the middle, 3 inches deep. You're aware that there's 2 coins that are different conductivities, but not the staple. It's just blanking that out. We'll move on to the 5 pences now, the low conductive coins. Pointless going to the 4, 5, 6, 7 inches, so we'll start at the 9-inch one. $10. Is that quite happily? 11 inches. So you have the low conductive coins, the Manticore, Equinox, etc. will get these quite happily at 12 inches, so that's where the sort of E-Tracs and Explorers fail. Oh, we'll go to the cut quarters, start at 5 inches. 6 inches. 7 inches. Nope, struggling on that. 5 pences on edge, we'll just go straight to the top of the 7-inch one. Down the length. No problem with that whatsoever. Sorry if you can't see the screen, it's just the way the light is today. Onto high conductive coins. And we'll start with the Georgian 8 knees, we'll go for the 11-inch one. Love those, 12 inches. just about it's on the edge of its ability now. We'll try the 13, but it won't get it, I'm sure. No, it does actually get it with the Detech 13-inch Ultimaton. In fact, it's the only combination of coil and detector I've tried yet, the 13-inch coil, that actually gets it. Right, we'll go for the Georgian 8 meters on edge. Start at the top, 8 inches. And down the length. Cartwheel pennies. Might as well start on the 14-inch one, I'm sure it'll get that. Bit vague, let's go to the 13-inch one. Yeah, it's just running out of steam on the 14-inch one. Gets it quite easily with a 13-inch coil on. Cartwheel pennies on edge. Top again, 9-inch one. Onto the artifacts. We ignore the shallow ones and go straight for the deeper ones. Right, we've got a Orsonis bottle, 15 inches. Musket ball, 10 inches. Fibula, 7 inches. Large lead weight, 14 inches. Thimble, 12 inches. Just teaspoon, 13 inches. Small bottle, 10 inches. No problems with any of those. Next up, silver coins. Victorian silver threepenny bit, 6 inches. 7-inch deep sixpence. Silver shilling, 8 inches. Edward penny, hammered, 6 inches. Hammered threepenny bit, Tudor, 8 inches. Silver threepenny bit, milled, 8 inches. Sixpence, 9 inches. Shilling, 10 inches. Florin, 12 inches. Half crown, 14 inches. Hopeful nickel crown, 1965, 13 inches. Yeah. Makes me think, actually, I mean, I'm using a Manticore at the moment, but this hits the target so much harder than a Manticore does, these high conductive ones particularly. No, the E-Trac isn't so good on the low conductive stuff, but this fitted with a Nel 13 by 12 tornado coil, or the Detech Ultimate is, I think, overall probably better than a Manticore. You just mesh your smaller stuff at depth. Right, onto the iron targets and the odds. That's a horseshoe, 6 inches. Look at numbers on the screen, etc. You probably wouldn't dig that. You'd be thinking it's right down the bottom corner of the cursor is. You'd probably be able to tell quite easily that was iron. Iron bottle, 6 inches. That's a different ball game. As most detectors, gets fooled by the iron bottle because it's got the hole in the middle of it. That's 8-inch deep, 20 pence, with 3 nails sitting on top of it. Same again, only the nails are now 4 inches above it. Considering Minelab E-Tracs, etc. aren't supposed to be fantastic among iron, I've always thought they were brilliant among iron, but you might just blast straight through the iron. Right, knife blade, 2 inches deep, 2 copper rivets sticking out of it. Come at it from that angle, we're getting just the knife blade, so it's nulling it out. Move around it a bit. Hopefully it'll get the 2 rivets. So, E-Tracs, Explorers, Safaris, Quattro, whatever, they all brew into one guy. And for some reason, we got this reputation not being large now. 6 inches, 20 pence sitting on top of it. Halfpenny, 6 inches, coke 1 inch above it. Minelabs are the only detector to actually go straight through the coke and get the coin underneath it. Everything else, you have to move it in front to get the actual copper coin. A knife. Horseshoe, 2 inches, 20 pence, 6 inches. And just knowing completely out because it's a bloody big horseshoe sitting 2 inches down. Go at it from the side. And we'll get the 20 pence. 20 pence, 2 inches, horseshoe 6 inches. This again is an unusual thing with most detectors, or everything gets that quite easily, but this is obviously nulling out on the horseshoe, which is 6 inches deep, and the 20 pence is 2 inches deep. But if you go to the side, you quite happily get the 20 pence. They all work differently, these things do. 6 halfpennies stacked on top of each other, 11 inches deep. 100 mixed coins in a pot, 20 inches deep. 6 halfpennies on a row, on edge, 2 inches deep. You would actually get it from that way as well. I mean, you'd be digging that quite happily anyway. But if you get moved around, gets it from that way as well, which again is quite rare. I was very tempted when testing my E-Trac to actually add one to my collection again, but then common sense kicked in and I've got far too many detectors now. My favourite coil to use it with was the Nel Tornado 13 by 12 coil. I thought that was a fantastic coil, but I didn't have one on this occasion to test it with, so I've used 7 others. It's splitting hairs really with the bigger coils because they're all very, very, very similar. By looking at the results, you can see how all the Minelabs have progressed throughout the years, and you can't really tell when you're using them, but when you sort of start comparing test results and things, you can see how they're just sneaking up the table the newer they get. As I use them all on the test bed, I can tell how they've evolved. The process is a lot slower than the E-Tracs. I mean, you can see on the video how slow it takes the actual digital readout to actually catch up. Whereas with the Manticores, Equinoxes, Vanquishes, and all the modern type Minelabs, it's fairly instant. There's also a very obvious difference, the newer ones over the older ones, in picking up low conductive targets. Anyway, thanks for watching. I shall be back very shortly with another video. No idea what it's going to be yet, and see you soon. Bye now.